Hi. So for my 11th video journal entry, I decided to cover a resolution that the European Parliament is planning to vote on. Um, the article that, well, it's the article that I chose isn't necessarily an article, but more of a press briefing, I guess, of sorts. It's essentially laying out what Parliament plans to do, or at least the European People's Party, which is the majority party in the European Parliament, plans to do in the next session. Um, and essentially, the document talks about voting to make Russia a terrorist state. So that has a lot of implications. It's not just a bunch of rhetoric. Um, so if the European Union does pass these resolutions and it gets through all the measures that it needs or all the hurdles it needs to pass, that would be pretty significant. There's around $300 to $500 billion in Russian assets within the EU. There's been a lot of talk about using some of those Russian funds to reconstruct Ukraine. That's been growing in popularity, and that's something that this bill mentions or this resolution mentions as a possibility. Uh, on top of that, it would also forbid a lot of other economic and technical assistances and trade. Uh, if I remember correctly, the leader of the EPP uh, wanted to essentially diminish Russian relations to the point, or not the leader of the EPP, but the lead sponsor of the resolution, essentially wanted to um, diminish Russian relations with the EU to the point where they're virtually non-existent. Um, Personally, I think the measures taken in this resolution are good. I can personally get behind the idea of using Russian assets to rebuild or to help rebuild Ukraine. Um, of course, all with a reasonable due process. But yeah, I think it was pretty interesting. That's my submission.